Hi everyone. Today we're going to begin round 2, part 2 of the Word Masters Challenge, words 16 through 25. And by Tuesday the 10th, we'd like you to watch the video, write 10 creative sentences. There's only 10 words for this one, so you're going to use, you're going to make a sentence for each word. And use the Quizlet, where there's a link on Headline, to study for at least 20 minutes. So between now and Tuesday, play around on the Quizlet. Remember, we are happy that you're using it for memorization, but we're also all about application as well. The first one is beeline. Beeline is a noun, and it basically means a straight line between two places. It usually infers that someone's rushing. For example, right before a vacation, or right before the end of the day, you guys tend to make a beeline to the door. Pensive is a really great adjective to use because a lot of you are pensive. You can see it during roundtables or when you're writing that you're deep in thought and trying to figure out what you want to say next and how to piece it all together. So here's a picture of a kid that might be kind of pensive, thinking about the world or whatever he's thinking about. And you might also, this might look familiar because in Harry Potter, for your Harry Potter fans, this is a pensieve. And Dumbledore uses that to put his thoughts in so he can literally reflect into it. So again, pensive is an adjective that describes being in like a deep or reflective thought. Exalt. We've been doing a lot of exalting lately here in New England. It's a verb to show or feel extreme happiness, especially as a result of success. I'm not sure what this guy is exalting about, but he is. And then obviously the number one example I can think of is the New England Patriots. Here's Tom Brady exalting at the parade after a huge win. Cavil is a verb, and it means to make an unnecessary protest or objection. And a noun, it means an unnecessary object or protest. You can see here this guy might be maybe a high-handed boss that's rejecting something, and this guy's questioning why. You can also cavil means just to argue over silly, unnecessary things. Like if the check comes at dinner and your friends want to split it when it's really not fair, that argument might come off seeming like a little cavil. So it's both a noun and a verb, and they both have very similar meanings. Uproarious. Uproarious is an adjective that is characterized by or eliciting, I threw that word master's word in there for you, loud noise or uproar. So here's an example of some uproarious laughter. You can also use it to describe like the roar of the crowd or the atmosphere in a place. Brood. I think brood is a really important word. I'm glad it's on this list. As a noun, it just simply means a family of young animals, especially of like a bird species, produced at one hatching or birth. So here's an example. Ooh, cute little duckies. That's an example of brood as the noun form. Now as the verb, it means to think deeply about something that's upsetting. So sometimes when things don't go your way, you can brood over it for too long. Here's an example of a girl who's obviously upset and her friend's trying to comfort her. She's brooding over something that bothered her. You could brood over a bad test score. You could brood over a nasty breakup, getting into a fight with your friend. So it means to think deeply and almost to become obsessed with something that's upsetting to you. Hinterland is... There are two separate noun definitions. The first is the often uncharted areas beyond a coastal district or a river's bank. So basically areas where people really haven't been or explored beyond a river. And the noun is any area beyond what is visible or known. So you can see this area beyond the river, if it hasn't been charted, would be considered like a hinterland. But it's really any area beyond what's visible or known that hasn't been looked at or charted or mapped out. Prim. You might have heard this before. If you describe someone as prim and proper, it means they're very serious and very appropriate all the time. It is an adjective. It means stiff and very formal. And people who are prim tend to be really strict rules followers, especially in the area of manners. Um, and as a verb, it means to purse your lips into a prim expression. So I like this picture because clearly this woman is prim and she is primming. So we get the adjective and the verb covered there. Trample, I'm sure it's a word that you've seen before. It's a verb that means to tread on and crush. As a noun, it's the act or sound of crushing. So, verb and a noun, there's your trample. Sluice is a noun, and it's a sliding gate or other device for controlling the flow of water. This is an example right here of this area right here has been removed, which allows the water to flow freely. But if it was down, it would prevent the flow of water, kind of like a dam. As a noun, it's the act of rinsing or showering with water. So if you took a sluice in the morning, I guess most of you do every morning or at least every night, and then the verb is to wash or rinse freely with a stream or shower of water. So again, very similar. All three words having to do with the use of water in different degrees. Okay, thanks for your time. Remember that by Tuesday we expect you to have played on the Quizlet for at least 20 minutes and to write 10 creative original sentences with the words. And thanks for your hard work, and we wish you continued success with the words, and we'll see you soon.